Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Anthony Hamilton, and you're listening to Vitamin D with Dawn Dai. Be sure to check out my new single, Mercy, out now on Apple Music and Spotify. Remember, you're your greatest asset.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.
Hello.
Hello, Black King.
How are you, Queen?
I'm
Black
doing
Queen.
well. I'm doing well that I'm speaking to you.
I appreciate that. I like the love. I like how I started off.
Well, it's nothing but a reciprocal thing because you were kind of the soundtrack to my year in college, okay?
Oh, wow.
At Howard University. So this is a turn back, and I'm so excited to dive in. To talk about this track, Mercy, that you're releasing, to give a glimpse over your catalog, but more importantly, Mr. Hamilton, we're going to dive into the inspiration behind this music because I think it's the soundtrack that I think carries your voice. You hear me?
I appreciate it.
And I have to definitely thank Paige for linking us up, and I'm so excited. So you doing all right?
She's super sweetie. I am. I'm good. I'm in Atlanta in the studio with Jermaine Dupri and Eric Bellinger came through today.
Oh.
So we've been in here. Yeah. So we in here going ham.
I saw your IG.
Yeah.
I saw your IG and I was sitting there. You didn't tell me what. You didn't tell me you want what. Tell me, Anthony.
What you talking about? Oh no, I don't know. What you talking about?
Well, let's talk about some things that we can talk about. And okay. I was sitting here, I was talking to a friend and listening to your music. It reminds me of a dark liquor, a drink, like maybe a cognac or a whiskey.
Yeah. Now you talking about something. Now you're talking about it now.
What's your drink? What's your drink?
My drink, I like a little bourbon. Bourbon makes you do things that other drinks don't.
Oh, Lord. Your voice. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I like a good bourbon, a good whiskey, whether it be American whiskey or something from afar. It's just a good drink. It's a man's drink. A good old whiskey, bourbon, or something. You know what I'm talking about?
A bourbon. Oh, you saw how deep it.
Bourbon.
And that's what I feel like. Even when we talk about the drink, that's what I feel like your music does. It's like that smoky, feel good, safe, sweet. I'm with my people kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's what it should feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it should feel like. I think when you can resonate with things that remind you of yourself, that dark brown, that gravy, that
come on,
piece of golden cornbread.
Come on,
that silky cabbage. All that stuff just kind of sound like music, don't it?
You making me hungry. That was another thing I gotta thank you. I had to come in here and edify you because it was because of Sister Big Bones. You told me I was beautiful.
Of course,
you had me
beautiful.
Thank you. And enjoying my curves. And I think that's what I love about this. And I don't know if you had a glimpse to know, but Vitamin D is about that. Vitamin D, this podcast is about shedding light. And it's a pun off of my name, Dawn Dai. Okay?
Yeah. It's awesome. I love it.
And so I'm going in there and I'm diving. And as I go into the music and the lyrics, I can't help but wonder, even as you're starting out, you grew up in North Carolina, North Kakalaki, as they say.
Yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina.
What made you take a chance on your dreams?
I had to. It was just so deep. It was starting to live its own life inside. So I had to go with it, I had to tend to it. I had to make sure that I took it to the city, to the big city, New York City, and allowed it to grow. And it birthed a man, and the music birthed some stories. So it was just who I was supposed to be from the beginning. From the womb, even before the womb. When I was put in the womb, I was put in there with music.
Come on.
And it never left.
Come on. And now you singing your song.
I'm singing my song all night long. Yeah.
I wanted you to add in there to the break of dawn.
To the break of dawn.
Oh,
Dawn Day, to day. Ooh, yeah. Oh.
Thank you. And so I guess I talk about that a lot because people don't realize, what the push came through. And I think this push that I'm going to discuss is going to lead up to the single that brought you where you are right now, entitled Mercy. But coming up to New York, a lot of people don't necessarily take heed to that of the plight, I guess, of a Black man. And understanding that, coming from a family down in North Carolina, a farm, where you really had to go out there and strive. I don't know if people oftentimes see the adjustment and the shift and understanding why some things may have seemed like a ditch or a rock or a stem in the way was actually a stepping stool or something to propel them forward. And I guess I just wanted to get some more insight as an encouragement as to why that is so in your life.
I've encountered a lot. I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot. And, I learned to take those moments that seem like ditches and branches and things that seem like it was obstruction to my view and look through them. That was a different color. That was a different shade and hue. If you use those things. And I learned how to paint with it, with my pen. And, I use it as leverage. I didn't allow it to create fear and a barrier between me and where I was going. So I learned to use the things that were tangible. And sometimes it would be pain, sometimes it would be happiness. And those things started to create a new fabric. And that fabric became music.
Oh, and the way it's knitted. Up and down and all around and splashed with different colors. And like you said, that painted your life. And realizing those moments, it can comfort, it can protect, it can shield. It also is a way that you express your personality.
Exactly.
And
I'm good, brother.
And so when we're thinking about that, painting the music, right? I'm wondering, when you got to this point, and I'm pulling off one of your hit singles, what's the point of it all?
The point of it all is I love you. Love is the point of it all. That's the reason. That's the ingredient. That's the thing that sustains you. That's that thing that motivates you and encourages you. It's the reason. It's the reason why we call and make sure did you get home okay? How was work? How you feeling? Are you cramping bad, baby? Is there anything I can get you? That's what it's about. That's what a man do. He tried to do that, be there for that.
And you know what I think is so amazing is that you speak so much about what it means to be a man, stepping up to be a man, being a father of 6 sons, and even taking a glimpse. I was watching your series you did with Mr. Harvey for Mentoring Mondays, and you admitted yourself that you said, wait a minute, I grew up without a father.
Yeah.
But yet you can still stand boldly in your manhood and express your emotions the way you do. How is that so?
You can't harbor bitterness, and you can't expect for someone, even your father, your mother, you can't expect for them to be perfect. You can't expect for them to be what your idea of them should be. People can only be who they are. Until they change. But people are always pretty much honest in their moment, whether they're messed up or disconnected or just not interested. That's who they are at that moment. And, me and my father now are really cool. We've been cool for maybe 16 years or so. Like, we talk a lot. I don't ask him why he wasn't. What happened in those moments, I could care less. As long as he's healthy, I love him, and he loves me. And, you go from I like to go from where it's comfortable, where it's pure and it's beautiful. And I don't have to go back to that place. Not for that. Not to have a relationship with him. I appreciate you birthing, help to birth me. And yeah, you're going to be my father. And, you know, just not holding grudges, learning to let love flower your life. And yeah, I think a lot of people want to just hang on to stuff so they can have something to do.
Come on.
Or hang on, have an excuse to be in a mood or a funk or to hold something against somebody. Find a way to love that person in spite of their flaws. You know, and sometimes it's not easy because each situation is different. Everybody has a different story. Things happen to people. People are hurt. People are physically harmed, and you know, so they have a different attitude, and there's a different depth of pain that sometimes we don't understand. So I get it, but the minute I can choose peace, that's what I want.
Amen. Which is perfect, to which we're about to segue to. Because even what you said, despite that your father not being there, it sounds like you granted him a bit of mercy, right?
A little mercy.
Just a little bit?
Whole lot.
And I love that because it's one thing to talk about something, but it's another thing to walk, to live, to truly reside in it.
Yeah.
And to know when we understand about a backbone of what a father is, and to say, I'm not looking at what yesterday because it is the accepting it now, because now is what we have the gift in which we are to present it to one another. You've allowed yourself to free up to receive.
Exactly.
So let's talk about this track, Mercy. You mentioned with your father that it was about an understanding of who he is right now and valuing now, but yet understanding perhaps what he's gone through. Talk to me about this track, Mercy, you have.
Mercy, it's a man who stands vulnerable and open, not weak by no means, but this vulnerable man who's not afraid to expose that place where he cries, where he yearns, and he, you know, and he, you know, he has fears and certain things. Allowing people to see that place. I think sometimes people look at a man as this cement shell, but we have feelings.
Yes.
And we worry about things like providing for our family, you know, protecting our kids, being a husband, being a wife, and a father. These are the things that we have on our mind a lot. So sometimes we need a little mercy. Sometimes we need a little forgiveness. Sometimes we need a little love, a little more love. So it speaks from that perspective. And just say, you know, until you walk through my shoes, you can never ever sing my blues. Oh, never sing my blues. Until you felt the pain of a broken man. Then and only then can you understand.
Anthony, you know what you sound like you saying? You asking for somebody to see you.
Have a little mercy. Have a little mercy. It's a beautiful record, and it features Tamika Mallory, who's been an amazing, just amazing soldier out here fighting for justice and being the voice for so many people and standing up for men and women of color. And I felt her spirit was in the place where she could speak to me and encourage me. And that's what she does in the beginning of this song. And then it goes into such a beautiful testimony of a man.
She says, I'm not your enemy. I'm your energy. What? You know I was in this house and I started screaming, right? Because I said, what? And it goes back to me even falling in love with your music for all of these years because it's just about edifying. And we talk about edifying. It's just being a reflection of the light.
Yeah.
And you said, we just need a little love. And I'm thinking to myself, well, in listening to this track of talking about all the things that have been carried, and it's saying, hey, no one's not saying that, oh, I shouldn't be carrying it. It's just saying, see me as I carry it.
Exactly. And if I stumble and if I'm late to where you think I should be or to your time that you had me appointed to, just know that I was carrying something and I may have stumbled along the way, but don't count me out. And, understand that, being a man is sometimes he has to deviate and has to, to pick himself up when people don't think that he should fall. Because like I said, people picture a man, the true meaning of a man is someone who's always strong, who's always resilient and who doesn't cry, but real men cry. Real men, yeah. I'll cry on stage. I don't hold it back. My fans know it. If I feel it, if it hits me, I do it right there.
It's so interesting.
And it's powerful. It's powerful. Yeah, it's powerful. It's beautiful.
It's I guess essentially it's kind of like being a light anyhow, of just saying essentially a light isn't bothered about being blocked. It doesn't matter who sees it shine.
Mm-hmm.
The only purpose is to be seen. And like you said, it's so easy to carry, to cover, and to block. But to sit there and to expose and to stand there, that's another story. That's another dimension. And I'm just wondering, how is it that, one, if you don't have a representation of a black man, how does one carry being strong and vulnerable at the same time?
I think being honest in those moments, those true moments, and being okay and being secure in those moments will help you develop, the true meaning of being a man. You start to feel like, okay, I'm vulnerable. I feel this. I'm okay and I'm surviving through it. So that strength in surviving and making it through. And you start to develop these characters and characteristics and textures to who you are. And you see yourself growing in certain ways. And when you identify your growth, that takes you to another level of becoming a man. And then you start to be responsible and start to take care of that growth. And then as you grow more and you be more responsible, there you are. You starting to create your own image of a man that's true to you. And then sometimes you see Uncle June or Granddad, Big Daddy Rob. And you're like, you know what? I think I'm starting to look like him and act like him. I must be a man now.
It's always nice when you can see that reflection and to know that you've grown more. But it's so interesting, and I think sometimes people kind of disregard it, to walk in your authority and to have dominion over your life. Because it's a promise that's guaranteed, but it's something that I've heard you say countless times in interviews about knowing who you are, going further and where you're going. Just like you said multiple times here, I'm not looking back. So I can't keep counting what happened yesterday, the day before that, and why that propelled or somehow hindered me from going where I am going right now. But what I see...
No, go ahead.
No, this for you. Come on.
I want to hear what you have to say. But what I see.
But it's interesting that what I see when I see a black man oftentimes is that there's no room to be. When I, as a woman who I've never been in any type of trouble with the law, haven't gotten held back, when I can stand out on the street and I hear the police and I'm getting nervous because I'm standing next to black men, that's only one plight that one has to carry. And here I am, because I got to be strong to look after your back. Who do I lean on? And I think just looking at society today, that's what I see. a misunderstanding.
Yeah. Yeah. Being misunderstood. The black man has been misunderstood so many times. And when you misunderstand something, you fear it. And I think that's what the outside races and people who don't understand who we are start to fear us and, want to destroy us, take us out, get rid of us. And then you have envy of how amazing we are, how powerful and creative and just beautiful we are, full lips, wide nose, strong back. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot we have to face a lot.
So what would you say, what do you see right now? We've had so much. You see the movements that Tamika Mallory is doing. We've seen the widespread of what the life of George Floyd has done. When we see the likes and the hopes of what Kamala Harris is doing in the White House. What do you see the state of America now, and what do you hope Mercy brings? We
have so much work to do. Kamala Harris and so many others, me, you, we all have a lot of work to do. We have to start to create value amongst ourselves and to know that that value is just as special as any other race. I think we start to govern ourselves and accordingly and treat ourselves with dignity and not put responsibility on old white men to save us, to be our own saviors. But this song will be the soundtrack to somebody getting to that place where they can feel okay to go there and to
treat yourself with mercy.
Yeah, treat yourself with mercy and see the value in you. Kamala, it'll be nice to have someone there close to the home base and somebody who can speak that talk. Hopefully she stays connected. People ridicule her about her past, but we all, we've all done something that we wasn't so proud of.
Exactly.
And we grow. And so now just allow her to be in her newness. Maybe this song will bring peace to someone or wake something up in someone or remind somebody that, although I didn't see where you were coming from, what you were going through, I think I understand now. The song connected me to it. And maybe they'll play it in the White House.
Why not?
Why not?
And that's when I look at you and I look at your career. I look at your messaging. And it's a career that I say, why not? Because when you talk about just being authentically you, speaking to edify, speaking to uplift, speaking in the sense of a black man, speaking as a black man without a father, just more so of being a black man who understands and in many cases overstands to know where we're going, to know how we're doing it. And so I just think it's so powerful because in this day and age, we need to understand. And when Tamika was in the beginning of this track and she's saying, see me, and all that you're saying is until you see me where I'm coming from, see me where I'm going. And I hope that this track becomes kind of like the soundtrack to the beat of America's heart.
Yeah.
Because whether it's mercy for that child, whether it's mercy for that black man, that black queen, for the struggling cousin, uncle, friend, just hold on and have a little mercy for us so that way we can see what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And although we haven't necessarily got to it yet, by the time this interview is going to be aired, you're going to have performed at the Bounce Awards. Tell us a little bit about why your involvement is so important.
Just being a representation of what I feel we are through my music, through the way I walk and father and carry myself. It's always important to plant a seed for someone's child.
Come on.
To be that father figure, to be that man, that voice, that writer, that author. It's so important to have a stage like that to share it on. It's special, Music connect you to people and things and moments and create memories. And maybe I can help make somebody's memory special.
Well, you sure did mine. Many times over, and it makes me wonder, like, who inspired you?
Everybody. I'm connected to all that's beautiful and pure, and even some stuff that's not so beautiful. There's still something in it that I could appreciate. Just waking up with gratitude.
Come on,
is inspiring. My kids, they love on me. My friends, they see me and appreciate me.
But who kept you through those low moments?
My Lord, and my prayers.
Come on.
My Savior does. And I have solid friends and people that I can go to who really understand, like, okay, even though he's just a so-called entertainer, he's still a man and he still needs a safe place to be and land. And, they allow me to do that. And I go in there and lay down.
But we hear that when we talk about comfort and we talk about being self. I listen to the Clark sisters a lot, and they have this song like, no matter the winds may come your way, but I'm just resting in my Father's hands. It's that same testament of your saying of sometimes you just gotta let go. Black man, you ain't got to hold everything. I see you.
Yeah.
And Mr. Hamilton, what'd you say?
And for men to really hear that and believe it, it'll take a lot of pressure, blood pressure, and everything else will go down. Because we feel like we have to hold it all and do it all.
Why?
And women need to not put that pressure on a man. I think when we all hold up our end of the bargain and take care of what we're supposed to take care of, it balanced the weight on the other.
Now, what you mean the woman puts the pressure? Is there an expectation?
Yeah, it's okay to have expectations. That's good, as long as they're balanced, and as long as you're not expecting something from your spouse or partner that you're supposed to do as well. I think a lot of times unbalanced expectations are unhealthy, and we put our stuff on other people, men and women. And one example is, I'm not supposed to be your happiness.
Oh,
I'm supposed to add to your happiness.
Come on.
But you need to have your own happy. You need to have your own joy, and don't expect for me to be that, because I'll never be consistent with what you feel it should be and how it should be delivered. When you have your own, you can dictate and have it and have control of it. It's yours, and you share yours, and we connect ours together. It's more peace, because we're not wasting energy on expectations. We have the power to create our own happiness. It belongs to us, so we're not looking out for it.
Oh my God!
And when you're looking for your happiness in somebody else, you become more judgmental.
Come on.
Because you're looking for something to point the finger at. I want to be happy, but that don't look like it. I don't like that. That shirt I don't like that shirt on you. I don't like the way you said that. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to do so. We start nitpicking and creating moments of discomfort. But when you have like I said, you have your own joy. All you want to do is be around that person and just enjoy them.
Come on.
Yeah,
wait a minute. Oh, wait, did you hear what you just said? Hold on, Anthony. Wait a minute. You said, you talked about the joy, right? Because that's the everlasting stay. Happy is forever fleeting joy. And you said when you get with the other person, you enjoy them, right? But then as a double entendre, you're in joy.
Joy.
Stop playing with me. Is that what you came to do?
Go ahead now. On purpose.
I love that you said that, because I think oftentimes when we have those expectations that you talked about, and I think it's just so on target with even just your line of music, because it's about that love and it's about that relationship, right? When we come in, like you said, that expectation, I'm coming to take. But what if I just came to give and to edify? Imagine that, like, just like you said, there's no such thing as, oh, I have to because I'm lacking. I'm open because I'm ready to receive. I'm open because I'm ready to give. And like you even said in the song, until love, if God is love, just the imagery of love is always open. The light doesn't try to stop where it's going to be shining. Like you said, like the synergy is like a flow, and it's like the evolution of like the sun. It's just a circular motion from me to you, you to me, and me to you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I hope you continue, and I pray that you continue uplifting with your music, because we need to make sure we have more artists like you on the playing field that talks about the wellness, that talks about the vulnerability, but more important, that speaks to music that we can all feel. Because when I'm getting in smoky roots, I can taste my chicken, I can taste my cornbreads, I can taste my collard greens.
Oh, girl.
Huh?
Dip that bread in some brown liquor.
Boy, you better stop. Oh, but since we're talking about food, and I understand that you got a book.
Yes, it's called Cornbread, Fish, and Collard Greens. And it goes behind the music. It tells the story of the songs and the relationships and the journey from a young child, a young boy to a man, and how these songs became what they are and what you hear today.
Yes.
And there's some recipes. Yeah, there's recipes in the book. It's about 6 or 7 recipes.
Oh, you trying to feed me?
Feed the hell out you. Hey, your watch tight. Your watch will be tight.
Thank you.
You know, there's some recipes. There's some scriptures. There's some amazing photos that I took just for the book. It's a really great coffee table book. It's a great read. It's a short read, but it's a powerful one. It's very raw and vulnerable, and it's matter of fact. It's something.
So, when you mentioned pictures, are you a photographer?
No, you know, I can capture some stuff, but nah. I have good vision.
Come on.
And I see something. I know when it's beautiful. I know where it should be placed. And yeah, but nah, I ain't a photographer yet.
Becoming and entering.
I'm still growing. Yeah, I'm still growing.
And you mentioned scripture. I'm one that I love scriptures. I love quotes. What is a scripture, like my scripture that I love? I have a couple, but, well, 2. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope in the future. And then I have, because I actually have life tatted in my mouth, I love Habakkuk 2:2. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. You want to say, I'm loving this moment. I do this each time. Okay.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, but it's to do everything that your music does is to speak life.
Yeah.
So, what's a scripture that speaks life into you?
You know, I like doing to others. I think it keeps everything in its, proper place. And that can embody so much. I love you. So then in return, I have a better chance of you loving me. I feed you. So in return, you'll feed me or you'll feed someone else. I think when we have that power and we have access to create an outcome and we acknowledge it, I think it's something that's so powerful. People don't really hear or, really know how important that is.
What you mean? Like the power to create the life that you want? What do you mean?
Create the life that you want, the reaction that you want, anything. I think when you put good into something, it comes back. And that's what I like. I like to plant those seeds, watch them grow, and just keep giving and giving and giving love and giving love and giving love. I think that, that keeps me humble. It keeps me humble. It makes me feel beautiful to be able to treat someone special, to treat someone how I treat myself, how I love me, how I love you the same way.
And when you talk about that, I talk about something called your life bank account. And it's that understanding how you are your greatest asset. Mm-hmm. And when you talk about treating, we have to define that there are deposits versus liabilities. I'm making a deposit, I'm making a withdrawal. Mm-hmm. And I love what you said, because you said this earlier on. You said, hey, my music depicts that of the joy, the light, but also that of the dark. But in everything you said, in the acceptance of now walking in who you are now, because you're able to love who you are, you see the battle, or not the battle, but the balance of the yin and the yang. I love that.
You have to have it. With balance comes peace. And there's a lot of healing that can go on in this peace.
But it's scary, Anthony. People say that all the time. Here's the thing that people, I don't think, realize. People say, take a moment to heal. But just as though if you were to fall right now and you were to scratch your leg, right? You're holding it. You remember as a little kid, whether you were out there running there.
Put your nails around it.
But guess what? The only way that scab is going to come, because if you leave that Band-Aid on the whole time, it's going to stay wet. And when you take that Band-Aid off, guess what? There's a tingling. There's a hurting sensation when it's healing, right?
Yeah.
And it hurts to move. People forget that part when they talk about healing.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to expose the wound, like you said. And but it doesn't stay a wound forever. It does if you keep it covered.
Whew, wait, and what you say, Mercy, you said, can you see me? Because you were uncovering. I had to bring that back.
Look at you. Come on now.
And you know what I also appreciate about what you said, too? It reminds me of a quote that I've always lived by. And it's entitled, what allows a diamond to shine are the multitudes of cuts that have been placed within it. Because just like you said, whatever wound, like you said, that there was that ditch, that was that stick, that was that muddy road, that was that little pothole in the road, you realize that's nothing but a slash. Is it depression? Is it lack of my father? Is it obesity? Is it working too hard? But when you decide to uncover, somebody, and that diamond, because of all that pressures that came, decides to step into the light, you better shine.
Better.
And Mr. Hamilton, you shining out here.
I appreciate it. I hope to keep it polished.
And you are. And I want to thank you so much for shedding some of your light, not only about who you are as a man, but a man who is open in vulnerability and taking accountability for so many Black men out there.
I'm here to serve, and I hope it makes it better for so many people. Thank you for allowing me to have it. Thank you for the platform, and let's do it again.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about